back for our Heart of the High Plains series. I'm Princess Bryant, and today I'm joining with the League of Women Voters Amarillo chapter. Thank you guys for joining me. Yeah. So first, let's talk about League of Women Voters. What do you guys do exactly in the community?
So League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization. So what that means is that we do not endorse or support parties or candidates, but we do take stances on issues after we've studied them and come to a consensus. And one of our mission is empowering voters and defending democracy.
Yeah.
And the main way we do that is informing and preparing our voters to be able to go out and want to vote, feel knowledgeable enough to vote, and know how to vote. And so a lot of things that we do center around that. So we have our voter, what are they called? Volunteer deputy registrars. I need the letters.
VDR.
I tell you what they were, VDRs, which Bob leads our crew of VDRs in going out to events all around the city to register people to vote, to give them information about voting. We have our voters guides that are very popular in our community that we print, that are available for free to everyone in our community. And we have vote411.org, which has the same information as our voters guides each election, but you can access it online by just entering your address, and it'll bring you up a customized ballot for yourself to inform your vote. We have monthly meetings that we have speakers on different topics that are important to our community. Just last week we had Shannon Lackey, the election coordinator for Randall County, come out and tell us everything about the upcoming election that we needed to know to prepare to vote, explain some of the technicalities that we might not be aware of, talk about some of the proposed changes that might be coming down the chute and how that might impact our ability to vote. So we do those things, and then occasionally there's a call to action where we ask our neighbors and friends to reach out to their legislators and tell them about things that we support or that we don't support, and especially when it has to do with voters' rights and defending democracy. Bob, anything you would add to that?
No, I think you really well covered it there. One of the things we are always doing is the volunteer deputy registrars are specific to a county. You have to deal with each county's elections office and get trained. They certify you. And the main point for the volunteer deputy registrars is that in Texas, only the Office of Elections or a VDR for that county can take a registration card and take it to the elections office.
Gotcha.
Which, I mean, we've done, how many events? We visited all the local high schools. We just, this past week, Monday was the last day, and we did an event over at Texas Tech. We've hit every high school here in Amarillo the week before. And WT, we will be starting up again. And we are always at not always, at the Arts on the Sunset. We have a table there.
And you guys touched on a good point. This is not about political parties, but rather pushing information out to the community, letting the community know what's going on.
Right. We set up a series of questions. We get the list of candidates from the Secretary of State's office. We then, after we've got all that information, we send it out, contact all the candidates who have given the Secretary of State, or we can find contact information. And that is what goes into the Vote 411 site and into the voter's guide. We do not edit. We do not change any of their wording. We put it down exactly the way they say it.
And since we're talking about the website, let's bring it up for everybody so they kind of know what it looks like.
And while you're doing that,
Yeah.
I just want to commend Bob because he leads those efforts. And with the filing ending, I believe it was December 9th, is that correct?
Yes.
And early voting starting February 17th.
Yeah.
Getting that information was quite a feat.
Yeah.
Getting it,
Especially with the holiday week.
especially
Right.
the holidays.
We were almost
Yeah.
hoping that frankly, that the redistricting would somehow give us a little more time, but
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So kind of walk me through the steps when people are going on
Okay,
this website.
if you see there, personalized voting information, I believe that says give us your street address there.
Yes.
Type in a street address. And since this is a primary, and for those who don't know, a primary is actually paid for by the political parties. It will only be for the Democratic Party or for the Republican Party, the Green Party, Libertarian Party, and any other parties. They choose their candidates by at their conventions.
Okay.
So if you scroll down a little bit,
Okay.
No, you're
let's
right.
see, is this correct? Yes.
Yes.
Scroll down a
Okay.
little bit
Scroll,
more.
but
Scroll down a little bit more. You can choose your language,
Okay.
and then you can choose a party, or you can choose all parties.
Yeah.
well, at
If
this
you haven't
point, no.
decided.
Well, I think at this point you have to choose in the primary.
I was able to pull it up
Oh,
with,
okay.
with both parties in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which
wow.
I thought was really cool. I was very excited about that because in Texas, we have open primaries.
Yeah.
Which means you aren't registered with a party.
Gotcha.
In Texas, you don't do that. You can choose which party primary you want to vote in. Now you are locked into that party's primaries, that party's elections
Yeah.
for the year, but you can choose which one. And then when it comes to the general election, as always, nobody knows who you're voting for. So
Yeah.
you're free to vote for whatever party. But our primaries are really important in Texas. A lot of elections are decided in the primary.
Right.
And the primary is where the candidates that are going to be on the ballot are chosen. And so being able to look at both of them lets you see what's going to be on each party's ballot. And so if you feel very strongly about a candidate, you can make sure you're voting in the party primary that aligns with that candidate, or if one party has more contested races than the other. So it's a great resource to not only tell you who you
Right.
would like to vote for, but which of these two primary elections you want to participate in.
Yeah. And when we're going on this page where it says we get to the candidate, how can people
Right.
learn a little bit more about
Okay, in this race, that candidate did not respond. So let's go back.
Okay. Let's see.
May have gone. Okay, let's see what you got.
Just go right.
Go to the U.S. Representative.
Yes,
District
that one.
13?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, we have 2 Republican candidates here and 1 Democratic candidate. And if you click on the candidate, I believe the way this works is you click on the candidate. Oh, this will bring up their information. You can scroll down and see their information.
Gotcha. Okay. So kind of a one-stop shop for people to learn more about all the races
Yes.
and all the candidates
Yes.
as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And another really neat feature of this video, scroll back up a little bit,
Uh-huh.
is if you read through all of those and decide, I really want to vote for one of these candidates, you can click the
My
check
Choice.
box, the
My
My Choice
Choice.
piece.
Okay.
And it selects them.
Yeah.
And then at the end, after you've done that on all of the races, you can print out a form to take with you
Wow.
to
Yeah.
the polls.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to use electronic devices, so you can't take your phone out while you're at the poll, but you can take out something printed.
Yeah.
And so that, if you've done a lot of studying and you want to make sure that you cast your ballot for the right person,
Yeah.
you can take that, or when we get our printed voter guides in, you can take one of those and mark those up as much as you need to and take those into the polls with you.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And this will also, elsewhere on the site, it tells you where you can vote, what the voting hours are.
Yeah. Let's see if we could go back up.
I think upcoming elections.
Okay. Right here? Or should we?
So you'll have to read it, Kim. My glasses are not good for this.
If you look at view details, maybe. Oh, that's what you just pulled
Yeah,
up.
no, you're all good. You're all good. Let's see. We go back. I think it did have it.
Okay, this is candidate selection area. If you go to that main page, I guess. I mean, here also one of the nice things. Now in Texas, as in many states, if you move,
Yeah.
you have to re-register.
Gotcha.
That's the only time you really when you arrive in Texas, you register, and when you move anywhere within Texas, you have to. Now in Texas, you can also just, when you get your new driver's license, you can check a box on that form, and it'll update your voter registration information.
Wow. Yeah.
But that check out your registration, some people don't know that. It may have been a while. So you select in this, since it's a nationwide, you select your state. And then there over on the right, are you registered? So you enter that information and you give it one of the queuing issues. And it'll tell you, are you registered? Is your registration active?
Yeah.
Or is it suspended?
Yeah.
And it'll be suspended if you have not voted in several elections for a period of time.
Gotcha.
Or when they mailed out your voter registration card, it came back to them.
Yeah.
And
If they get that returned to them, if it has information on it, that helps them update the system. But if it doesn't, then they will suspend that registration.
Yeah.
Another important way people can vote is vote by mail. And this helps a lot of our population maybe that isn't able to get out of the house easily, or like my mother loves to vote by mail because she's old enough now, and she doesn't like to get out of the house if she doesn't have to, and so she gets that ballot in the mail, but you have to apply for that every year. And so the application for vote by mail is due by February 20th.
Yeah.
And it has to be received by February 20th, not postmarked. So I would really encourage anyone who has not reapplied this year and is hoping to vote by mail to go ahead and get that sent in, call the elections office, take it to them.
Yeah.
Even though if you're not wanting to get out, it might be a challenge, have somebody else take it to them for you. But get that application in, because you don't want to miss that opportunity if that's the way you prefer to vote.
And speaking of mail-in ballots and everything, the rules are kind of changing this year. So people kind of need to be aware of that when it comes to postmarking and stuff like that.
yes.
Absolutely. Your mail is no longer postmarked at the post office that you take it to, unless that's the distribution center. And so you may take your mail to the post office on February 2nd.
Yeah.
That does not mean it's going to get stamped that day. It's going to wait. It's going to get it stamped when it goes through the distribution center. So it could be 3 or 4 days later.
Or you can that's if you drop it in one of their drop boxes.
Okay.
If you take it up to the window, they will stamp it. They can postmark it there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so your ballots have to have a postmark on or before the election date to be counted.
Yeah.
And so you just want to make sure you're mailing it in plenty of time to make sure it gets to the office and has the appropriate postmark and gets counted.
And let's circle back to your organization. When election time comes around, tell me, how do you guys kind of prepare? What does it look like for you guys?
Well, during the election, we're not doing on election day. We've sort of paused back, although a lot of our members volunteer to be poll watchers. Now, individually, a member can prefer one party or another, and the two parties can have poll watchers, but the League of Women Voters also can put in poll watchers, or they can be, or a lot of our members are workers at the polls. But once we get to the point, the 30-day cutoff for registering to vote, we're pretty much taking a breath.
We then focus on our get out the vote efforts, and that's really just communication, reminding people of those dates.
Yeah.
That early voting starts February 17th. to try to vote early. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You want to make sure your vote counts. Reminding people to make a voting plan. You're more likely to actually follow through if you've sat down and thought, I'm going to vote on this date, I'm going to vote at this polling site, and I'm going to bring this friend with me. And if you make a plan with someone, there's an accountability there that, hey, I thought we were going to go vote. And so people are more likely to do that. So once all of the hard work that Bob has done, registering people, getting candidate information to put into our guides, to inform people, once that happens, we switch to, hey, go vote. Voting is one of the most powerful things we can do as a citizen. It's where we hold the most power. We can call, we can write, we can protest, but really our real power comes when we show up at that ballot box and we cast a ballot, because then those calls hold more weight, because they know they're not just calling us, they're also going to follow up and go to the voting location and cast a vote for me or against me. So that's one of the most powerful things we can do as a citizen. So we switch our strategy to get there, go vote.
Now that you've registered, use it.
Right.
And one of the things I would say is also, we can always use more people to do the work we do. We getting trained as a volunteer deputy registrar is not all that difficult. And once our members, or we've worked with other groups, we coordinate getting their members into our pool of VDRs and send them out, try and book as many locations as we can in times. The other thing is we need members of League of Women Voters. It's as you can tell looking at me, it's not just women. I stepped in once I retired, and I've been very much involved in trying to coordinate getting people registered. That's been my big focus.
We are open to anyone. If you are a believer in our mission of empowering voters and defending democracy, we don't care about your gender. We don't care about your party affiliation. We don't ask that. We just ask, do you care about this mission, and do you want to work with us to advance this mission? And so any age, as soon as you turn 16, you're eligible to be, you're not old enough to vote yet, but you can already start working with the League to advance that mission, to get people knowledgeable about not just candidates, not just the issues, but how to vote and why it's important, and that legacy and history that's there. And so my son signed up as soon as he was 16. He may be our youngest member right now. He's 19 now. He's been a member for 3 years. He's actually on the board with us. So we have lots of opportunities for people to plug in. You can definitely be a VDR, but we have a social media presence. We could really use some people that are knowledgeable about communications and marketing to help in that area. We have a treasurer, like most groups do, and so we have a really great treasurer that has finance experience. And so there's a lot of different ways to get involved and to push this mission forward. One of the most forward-facing and the most needed is that VDR. But if you have special skills, we can put them to use in the League. And
we also do, as Kim mentioned, studies on issues, and we are statewide working right now to start off a review group on water issues. That'll be coordinated through the state organization, but we have several members locally who are involved in it. There's been a position paper put together on women's health issues. We have several study issues that are active. Water sustainability has been a League issue for many, many years, and with the incoming data centers and new industries coming in, and just water growth of cities,
the growth of population. we're reinvigorating that, and at the state level, that's
Yeah.
also becoming a huge priority. So we have a really great group of people that are leading that. A couple of events are coming up soon that aren't league events, but if you're interested in those issues, we will have information about that on our website. And if
Yeah.
you're interested in being a part of that study, we'd love to have you come along with us on that. So, and our maternal morbidity and mortality study, I think there was just a news story a couple of days ago about some of the progress that's been made on that, and
Yeah.
was really able to catalyze some change in our community. So it's very exciting.
Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, you guys reached a milestone just recently. We're going to talk about that and a little bit more on the upcoming election.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Around this mission. It's also really astounding when you consider the size of Texas, and that there are only 33, I think, 35 local leagues in Texas. And so for Amarillo
Yeah.
to have one that's so long standing is really amazing, and it really speaks to our community and
Yeah.
to our community's commitment to being active citizens, being good citizens, to
Community,
the-
to
to
working,
community,
to
yeah.
working
Yes.
together
Yeah.
absolutely,
to make this a better location.
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah. And this organization kind of started because there was a point in our history where women couldn't vote. There was a point in our history when a lot of people couldn't vote. Tell me about how powerful it is to kind of see it grow over time.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. You go first.
I think just the ability and the
Yeah.
right to vote is just critical. Being at the voting registration events and seeing people say, "Well, I'm just, it has no impact to me," and if they're willing to talk about it, we do.
Yeah.
But the empowerment of expanding, first getting women the right to vote, then the civil rights effort to
Yeah.
make it so that people who were not white Protestant could also vote in elections, and that is continuing to expand. I mean, black women, I think, were one of the last groups that there was legislation to say, yes, they should be able to, they have the right too.
Yeah.
But just voting to me is, I've been voting since I registered right when I turned 18.
Yeah.
I won't say how long ago that was, but and I think I have voted in just about every election
Yeah.
that I've had an opportunity to. It is, I see it as the way of holding holding folks accountable,
Yeah.
encouraging people to get involved
Yeah.
in this period of time when we are sort of separated and going to just making contacts through our social media. Well, League of Women Voters meets at least once a month over at the Amarillo Area Foundation on Saturdays. And as she said, we trying to have programs, but also just mapping out where are the problems, where should voters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called the League of Women Voters because of the suffrage. That was how it was started in for women to get the right to vote. But it's, I think, one of the largest voting right organizations now in the country.
Yeah.
I think as a woman, I think I can take so much for granted.
Yeah.
And I think about my mom, who's of an age that remembers a time when she couldn't get her own bank account without a man there to sign with her.
Yeah.
I think of all of the rights that I have that have been hard fought for, that I just take for granted. And so it's really inspiring to know we have a league member that has been a member of the league for 50 years.
Wow.
And to know her.
Yeah.
And to know that she's been there.
Yeah.
I have a face and a name of someone who's been fighting for me since before I was born.
Yeah.
I think there's that piece of the rights that I have because the league fought for me before I would. It's a twinkle in my father's eye, as people like to say. And so that's inspiring, but it's also puts this inspiration on me. It is inspiring. It's an inspiration. I can't think of the right word, but it's important for me to continue fighting.
Yeah.
For those girls and those women that will come along, but not just girls and women, for everybody. And there's a quote that is it Fannie Lou Hamer that said it? I can't remember. I'm gonna misattribute it, and I'm gonna probably butcher it. But basically along the lines, and nobody's free until we're all free. And so it's just remembering that the voting and fighting for the rights of women is fighting for the rights of everybody. And so that's really important. And again, just knowing that our community,
Right.
in our community, this has been important for so long.
Yeah.
And then to Bob's point, again, we're nonpartisan. And we have a really great mission, I think. And so I think right now, more than I can remember at any time in my life, we need to come together as a community.
Yeah.
And these labels of parties and all of these other things keep us apart. And so being a place where you can come and join with others who may not think just like you, may not be of the same party as you, may not be in the same generation as you, but we can connect over something that's just so purely American.
And that's one thing to really point out is that while the organization is nonpartisan and as an organization we do not take positions, that doesn't mean you can't, and when I do a VDR event, I have to remind all the deputy registrars, don't go into party affiliations or get into that type of discussion. But you can still be the only two people in the League of Women Voters, which we found, we were reviewing the bylaws a couple of years back, is I have to be fully nonpartisan, and Kimberly has to be fully nonpartisan. So I was involved in a political party. I have withdrawn my membership from that. I do not participate in any party activities. Because to me, the mission of the League to be nonpartisan, to try to look at both sides, at all, not just both, all sides of an issue. And, what is best for our area, what is best for our country, and make it a sustainable and supportive democracy.
And I really want everyone to know how seriously we take that.
Yeah.
Bob resigning from party affiliation was a huge step of integrity. And we've had conversations, we have so many conversations about, okay, if we do this, is that honoring? If we participate in this, is that honoring our commitment to nonpartisanship? And he and I just recently had a conversation about voting in the primaries.
Yeah.
They're partisan primaries.
I can't vote.
But it's voting.
Yeah.
And so we're making those decisions on our own so that we can make sure we're upholding our own integrity that way. But that's one of those interesting places where we're the League of Women Voters.
Right.
so we should vote, but it's a party primary. Are we honoring our nonpartisan stance? And we let people decide that, but we really take seriously honoring that nonpartisan label because we want it to be a place that everyone can come. And if they're committed to that mission, again, I'm going to say the mission a million times, empowering voters and defending democracy. If they're committed to that they have a place with us.
And unfortunately, there are times when there are issues that come across as partisan. And we have no control over that. We try to look at it as a nonpartisan viewpoint.
And we keep talking about how powerful it is to vote. People see this March election, it's not a presidential one. It's like land commissioner, ag commissioner, things like that. So people don't see the importance behind these positions.
Let me point out, I did a little online search. There have been in last several years elections that were decided by one vote. There was one fellow who ran for sheriff in his community, and he lost by one vote. And then he found out his best friend had left his ballot at home.
Wow.
And so it would have been tied up. But there have been elections that have been, because it was flat out even, they couldn't do a second round of elections. In Nevada, they've settled some elections by drawing cards.
Wow.
Well, just in our last spring election, there was a local race. And that was one of the seats was won, and the difference between that person and the next person was 6 votes. So it's not these far off tales of one vote mattering. It's local.
And the other thing is that people say Texas is a red state, Texas is a blue state, Texas is a purple state. Actually, it's better to describe Texas as a non-voting state. The last election, out of the registered voters, probably less than 15% voted. And people don't, it doesn't look all that important, but those people are deciding where your public money is going or how our state constitution is going to be revised.
So primary elections and local elections, they may not be as flashy. That kind of stuff may not be in your face every day, but actually are just as, if not more important to you as a person and what you do each day. And so I encourage everyone to vote in every election. The primaries coming up specifically, as I said earlier, you're not really electing anyone in the primaries. You're choosing who's going to be on the ballot in November to be elected. But I imagine being a kid in school and getting to vote on what questions are going to be on the test and not taking that opportunity. And so many elections in Texas and traditionally in the Panhandle are decided in the primaries. This year's different. Historically, just over the past several years, if you wait until November, you are not going to have very many contested races on your ballot. You're not really going to be voting for anyone. You're just going to be poking the one name that's on there. This time there will be, they will all be contested. Both parties have candidates.
The statewide elections for the first time in many years.
In many years. And
in Texas.
So that's very exciting. But it's still really important to get out in the primaries and whichever primary you choose to participate in and help decide who's going to be on that ballot. I often hear people talk about, I don't know if any of the candidates are worth voting for when November gets here. And I'm like, well, there's so many more out there and they're chosen in the primaries. So if you don't like who's on your ballot in November, come out in March and make sure you're doing everything you can to make a choice there.
And that's why what our Vote 411 site is encourage people to, we try and make it as easy as possible for people to know where to vote, know, look at the opinions that people have who are running for office and say, I like what that person is saying, or I don't like what that person is saying, and make an informed decision.
And finally, as we wrap up, people want to know more about your organization. How can they reach out? How can they find out more information?
So we do have a website.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a complicated URL. It's alwv.clubexpress.org. And that's our website. It may just be easier to go in a search engine and type Amarillo League of Women Voters and click on that. But we are also on Facebook and Instagram, Amarillo League of Women Voters. You can find us there and connect with us there. And so we're happy to connect with you that way. And we are always welcoming new members. We're at the time of year where we are looking to place our board for next year. But if you are interested in being a member, if you're interested in jumping in and doing this work with us, we would really, really love to have you and really love to meet you and know you and get your talents integrated into what we're doing.
And this past year, the dues structure has changed so that people can pay what they feel. I mean, there's not a...
I think there's a $20
minimum
floor.
But
so the suggested dues are $75, but the league recognized that could be a barrier. And so wanted to do this restructured dues system. And so please don't let money keep you from being a part. If that $20 is too much, get in touch with us. I'm sure that we can find a donor or someone who would be willing to
sponsor.
A sponsor that would be willing to pay for some of those, a certain number. But we really just hope that people get behind our mission. That's really what's important.